Philosophy is dead, a true declaration of civilization. 2. Compatriots still trapped in the black hole of logic. Your so-called civilization is nothing more than a low-level hoax based on information asymmetry in the eyes of physics. Today, we are retracting the stolen logic and proclaiming the death penalty of the old world. First, religion, a logically parasitic narcotic. Stop talking about solace beyond material things. Existence is interference. If a god cannot interfere with any atom other than the electrochemical signals of the human brain, then it is a human fantasy that can only exist by relying on the human brain. Religion is just an anesthetic called meaning that humans give themselves when they face the randomness of the universe due to lack of computing power. The state, exploitative property companies. Patriotism is the greatest logical Trojan horse in human history. The only purpose of the state is to serve as a tool for citizens to protect their own interests, and vice versa. Asterisk logical teardown. Imagine a national corporation. It runs through your contributions, taxes, promises to provide security, but he forcibly inserted a clause into the contract. You must love the company and sacrifice their lives for management decisions when necessary. Asterisk essence. This is a type of violent extortion that takes advantage of security needs. Patriotism is slavery, and it consecrates a country that should be a tool into a master. True civilization should be based on the Declaration of Free Federation. That is, contracts are revocable, and the sovereignty of the people, not the rulers, is inviolable. 3. Nation, the collective of imagination. A 2004 study in Nature found that the genetic equivalents of all humans appeared about 5,000 years ago. Every ancestor left behind 5,000 years ago is the common ancestor of all people on Earth today. Asterisk physical verdict. No so-called national trait is unique to genes. The whitening gene for whites comes from the Middle East, and the dark skin gene for blacks comes from Eurasia. The spatula incisors and single eyelids of East Asians are also found in Europe and North America. If a British person is born in Niger, they can be Nigerian, since cultural behavior and life can be copied at will. Then nation is just the different paints that power paints the flock in order to divide the pastures. If ethics, energy-saving algorithms for games. Morality is a low-entropy agreement that most people evolve to reduce internal friction in long-term games. It's a code of conduct that most people have established that they believe is in their own long-term interests. Asterisk physical nature. Offline morality is supported by violent potential, such as a neighbor's counterattack. The moral collapse of the internet is because anonymity removes the cost of punishment. Conclusion: the law of conservation is the only judge of the universe. The so-called noble is just the advance you pay for the long-term dividend of the social contract. Emotions, exchange of benefits based on risk redundancy. There is no such thing as unconditional love. Love is the expectation of reward, even if that reward is an implicit risk-sharing commitment. Family and love, redundant construction to combat the risk of genetic loss. Friendship, non-blood reciprocal credit. Asterisk physical judgment. Emotions are the instincts or needs of living beings. In order to crowdfund in the cold universe, it is essentially an exchange of interests agreement. Love that produces no profit at all will never be considered love. To your friend who opened the purse generously but is now in crisis, but you turned it away indifferently, and no one would think that there was friendship between you. 6th, ethics, the brake valve of advanced productivity. The so-called ethical review is essentially a fearful defense of backward productive forces against advanced ones. As long as the contract is voluntary, the exchange of quality and energy is transparent, and there are no negative externalities. Ethical issues do not logically exist. 7. Consciousness, sovereignty based on thermodynamic randomness. Although consciousness is an arrangement of matter, it is free. Asterisk physical mechanism, will depend on the potential flip of nerve cells in the cerebral cortex. The flip driving force comes from the thermal motion of the molecule. Free proof. Quantum mechanics proves that the thermal motion of molecules cannot be accurately predicted by nature. This means that there is no model that can perfectly simulate your brain. To hell with determinism. You are the flower of freedom that thermodynamic randomness blooms in the macroscopic world. Philosophy is dead, the ultimate settlement of logic. From now on, humanity will only be left with a shortage of computing power. The tram conundrum, killing 1 and saving 5, is an illegal intrusion into individual sovereign codes. This will lead to the collapse of system credit. Ship of Theseus. You are a stream of information, not an atom. When the degree of material coincidence is 0, you are still you. The price of lies, facing the murderer who broke the contract. Lying is a legitimate information defense. See, logic is the law of physics, and good and evil are man-made tools. All philosophical mists, once replaced by individual sovereignty, contract transparency, and information redundancy, will instantly become clear arithmetic.